scramble to free survivors as death toll passes 1,600 after Myanmar earthquake. Rescue workers battled for a second night to find survivors of Myanmar's devastating earthquake, which has killed at least 1,644 people and injured thousands more. Teams with little protective equipment, at times using only their bare hands, scrambled to free survivors from the rubble of countless buildings that were shattered by Friday's 7.7 magnitude earthquake. There was a brief moment of joy for exhausted emergency workers, as a 30-year-old woman was rescued alive after more than 30 hours trapped beneath an apartment building in Mandalay, Myanmar's second biggest city and one of the worst affected areas. Pu Lay Kang, who was brought out of the Sky Villa condominium, a 12-story development, by stretcher, was embraced by her husband, Yi Ong, and taken to hospital, AFP reported. It is feared more than 90 people remain trapped there. In neighboring Thailand, Bangkok's governor, Chad Sitapont, said the search for construction workers at the site of a collapsed 30-story building in the capital would continue. We believe that there are still survivors. We will do everything possible to rescue them, he said on Saturday evening, adding that heavy machines, including cranes and diggers, were being used to clear access at the site. The building fell to the floor while under construction, near the city's Chatuchak weekend market. In order to find evidence of life, sniffer dogs and drones have been utilized. At least 10 people have died in Bangkok. Dozens more are missing. Myanmar's ruling junta said in a statement that 1,644 people have now been found dead and another 3,408 injured. Others are still missing. Myanmar junta chief Min Aung Hlaing issued a rare appeal for international help on Friday and declared a state of emergency across 6 areas of the country. On Saturday, rescue teams and supplies were flown in by Russia and China, 2 of the junta's few allies, as aid began to arrive in Myanmar. India sent a medical team and a search and rescue team, and Malaysia said on Sunday that it would send 50 people. The response to the disaster is complicated not only by communication outages and damaged roads, but also the conflict that has gripped the country since the military seized power in a coup in 2021. The junta has faced dogged armed resistance to its rule, formed of a patchwork of groups, including civilians who took up arms to fight for the return of democracy, and ethnic armed organizations that have long fought for independence. It has lost swaths of territory, and responded with relentless airstrikes, which continued even after the devastating quake, including in Sagaing, close to the epicenter. The World Food Programme's country director, Michael Dunford, said that coordinating a response to the disaster would be very challenging. He added it could be days and weeks before the true scale of the damage in Myanmar is known. An assessment by the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said hospitals and health facilities had sustained extensive damage or destruction, adding that there were a severe shortage of medical supplies. Major bridges, roads, universities, hotels, historical and religious sites, and public buildings have also been heavily damaged or destroyed. According to reports cited by UNOCHA, the shallow 7.7 magnitude quake, which was followed minutes later by a 6.7 magnitude aftershock, was felt across the region, and is the largest quake to hit Myanmar in decades. Myanmar's junta chief invited any country, any organization to help with relief, and said he opened all ways for foreign aid. The junta has in the past repeatedly been accused of blocking humanitarian aid to areas controlled by its opponents. The Norwegian Refugee Council said immediate and unhindered access for aid workers would be critical. On Saturday evening, many in Mandalay prepared to sleep outside overnight, either because their homes had collapsed or they feared continued quakes. The disaster comes at a time when many aid agencies are scaling back their work, following Trump's cuts to the U.S. Agency for International Development, a major donor. Trump said on Friday that the U.S. was going to help with the response, though no concrete commitment has yet been announced. The UK will send a package of up to £10 million to support people in Myanmar, the Foreign Office said. The European Union said it was providing €2.5 million in initial emergency aid and assessing the needs on the ground to mobilize further assistance. EU Crisis Management Commissioner Ajal Labib said, "The EU stands in solidarity with people in Myanmar and the broader region." The United Nations has allocated $5 million to start relief efforts, while the World Health Organization said it was preparing to surge support in response to a very, very big threat to life and health.